You're not supposed to find it. The file is mislabeled. Buried 3 folders deep in a system that logs every access down to the second. 02:17 a.m. The office is empty except for the low electrical hum of fluorescent lights and the constant whir of outdated servers pushing warm air into a room that still feels cold. Your screen glows pale blue against your hands. There's a discrepancy. A report that doesn't match the body cam timestamp. A name that appears twice, once as witness, once as subject. You scroll slower, then you stop. Something is wrong inside your own unit. You started at a desk like this, lower level. Intake, year 1. Windowless room, 19 degrees Celsius, controlled environment. You processed complaints, stamped them, categorized them, forwarded them. You didn't read too deeply. That wasn't your job. You were told the system works because everyone stays within their lane. Year 3, you moved up. Review division. More access, more responsibility, no ceremony. Promotions arrive as emails. Subject line, role adjustment. No congratulations, just new credentials and a longer list of restrictions. You believed in it. Procedure meant fairness. Documentation meant truth. You repeated it enough that it sounded real. The climb's quiet. Year 5, you're authorized to audit internal conduct. You learn how reports are written, and more importantly, how they are softened. Language shifts everything. Excessive force becomes situational escalation. Unlawful detainment becomes procedural deviation. You don't question it at first. You adjust. You sign off on cases that feel incomplete. You tell yourself there are layers you don't see. You stop asking for them. By year 7, you know where to look when something feels off, not because you were taught, but because you've seen enough patterns. Missing minutes, redacted names that shouldn't be redacted, files closed too quickly. You don't say anything, not yet. There are rules no one writes down. Never escalate without backing, never document suspicion without proof, never create proof without insulation. You learn to move quietly. You copy files in fragments, never whole documents. Too obvious. You store them off-network, encrypted, labeled as something forgettable. Archive_17, temp_log B. You start arriving earlier, leaving later. 06:10 a.m. badge in, 20:45 p.m. badge out. No one questions long hours. It looks like dedication. You build your own case slowly. 11 months, 46 files. 46 officers appearing across multiple incidents with inconsistencies that don't align with random error. You map timelines, cross-reference dispatch logs, compare audio gaps. The system doesn't stop you. It doesn't need to. It assumes you won't go this far. You feel it before it happens. Small changes, a pause when your name is mentioned, conversations that end when you enter the room. Your access request gets flagged once, then cleared. No explanation. Day 312. Your supervisor calls you in. Neutral tone, neutral face. Asks about your workload, your independent initiative. The words are careful, measured. You deny nothing. You confirm nothing. That night, your system access resets without notice. You're locked out of 2 directories you've used for years. IT sends a routine message, security update. They know you're looking. You stop sleeping properly. Every sound feels like a signal. Every email feels monitored. You begin to understand the system from the inside out. It doesn't eliminate threats. It absorbs them, redirects them, neutralizes quietly. You review what you have. It's enough to raise questions, not enough to survive the fallout. There are 2 paths now. You can submit everything, full disclosure, internal escalation first, then external if buried. You know the protocol. You also know how often it loops back into silence. Or you can close the files, delete your copies, return to procedure. No record, no consequence. For them, for you. You sit at your desk, 01:03 a.m. The same hum, the same cold air. Your hands hover over the keyboard. You think about the reports you signed, the language you accepted, the names you didn't follow up on. You think about why you started. You upload the file. The response is not immediate. There's no alarm, No confrontation, just a quiet shift. Your badge access is limited to one floor. Your duties reassigned. An administrative transition. No explanation attached. An internal review is announced 2 weeks later. Carefully worded. Narrow scope. Names excluded. You are not mentioned. The isolation settles in. Colleagues stop engaging. Not openly hostile, just absent. Conversations become functional. Eye contact shortens. Your desk is moved, further from the main area, closer to storage. At home, you don't talk about it. There's nothing you can explain without sounding uncertain. You start measuring your days in silence. Weeks pass, then months. The review concludes. Minor violations acknowledged, corrective actions implemented, no structural fault identified. The system corrects just enough to continue. Your exit is procedural. Year 9. Voluntary separation. Standard package. Non-disclosure reaffirmed. Final paycheck processed within 72 hours. No ceremony, no acknowledgement. You return your badge. It's deactivated before you leave the building. Outside, the air feels different. Warmer, uncontrolled. Inside, nothing changes. Your position is filled within 18 days. New name, same desk, same temperature, same hum of machines processing complaints that will be filtered, adjusted, and resolved within acceptable parameters. The files you submitted exist somewhere now, stored, referenced, contained. You walk away with less certainty than you started with. The system continues, intact, efficient, quiet. And somewhere at 02:17 a.m., someone else will open a file they weren't supposed to find.